Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Hey,
Creative Minds. What's up, Brian? What's up, Emilio?
how's
Hey,
it
what's
going?
going
How's
on,
it
Brian?
going?
How you guys doing?
Good, good.
Good, good.
So, first episode for us for this podcast, something that we have thought about for quite some time. Creative Minds is basically a place where we come to discuss any and everything about cryptocurrency, blockchain, passive income in general, right? Where people can have or share ideas about ways of making money outside of their regular jobs or regular hustle. We are here like the average person out there in the country who is, working on a day to day, thinking or figure out how do they go about making some passive income while still doing their regular 9 to 5 or considering even moving from their 9 to 5. But during these our sessions, we are going to discuss, share ideas, invite our audience to also provide some feedback or some comments or just some suggestions on what they think about the show or contribute even. But before we go further, maybe this is a good point for us to make some introductions on who we are. Let me start by you, Emilio. If you can
Yeah,
let the audience know who you are
yeah.
and why we're doing
Well, my
this.
name is Emilio Bustos, and I'm from Los Angeles, California, with a background in e-commerce. And I just jumped into the crypto space when I started to acquire Bitcoin late last year. But fast forward to now, I mean, I'm still in the process of learning more and how it's transitioning into our daily lives. And that's where I'm at right now. Just just the learning and trying to gain more knowledge of what's going on right now. Yeah, Brian.
Nice.
Hey, I'm Brian Caldwell from Shreveport, Louisiana, former military, just a guy that loves investing and building like passive income. It's been in the crypto space for about the same time since last November of 2020. So I want to just make sure get the word out to everybody on what's going on inside of that space. It's a lot of things that I don't want people to miss. So, yeah.
Awesome. I think we are going to have quite a lot of ideas that we want to be able to put out there, and basically we are not closing any doors for any contributions from our audience. That's probably going to be tuning in or chiming in to give their own feedback or take, right, on what cryptocurrency is, what blockchain is, and even why not what the metaverse. That's the newest thing that people are talking about. So this is more like just technology stacking on one another, right? So there's a lot of
Right.
there are a lot of people that are still trying to figure out what even the basic stocks are. How do you go about buying stocks and selling stocks? Now we have cryptocurrency that has crept in, right? It's a whole new universe. Not to talk about the blockchain, and then again now we have people trying to figure out how can they go about making some passive income, right, from these channels or ways of doing business or within the digital space. So before we move to our next segment or what we are going to talk about, we would definitely want to kind of discuss just a little bit about you know why are we doing this. I don't think I gave my own intro, but let me just kind of speak to it before I move further. Again, I'm in ad tech. Sorry, I should have actually made this mention a little while ago. I'm in ad tech. I've been working in advertising for over 10 years, working with ad networks, but also very, very deep into mobile and desktop, application development. So I've been doing investment in stocks and recently doing cryptocurrency, kind of reading and doing my own research on what the blockchain is, how it's being used, and what are the currencies, that are out there. How are they going to be able to help me tomorrow in the digital space? So I am just as new as anybody in this space, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what's my left hand from the right side, from the right hand. So it's definitely new for all of us here. So the reason why I am actually getting into this is because I want to be able to figure out a passive income style. How do I go about, making something outside of my regular 9 to 5? So is it the same reason for you guys? Why exactly are you guys, you know, involved in, cryptocurrency? What's the main reason that is driving you guys?
Well, for myself, I can honestly say it's something I'm gonna get into with some more questions, or maybe more things that we're gonna get into later. But for me, is just not to get left behind, man. We've seen eras that have come and gone, and by the time they get here, they're already wealthy. So something that I think I will be explaining a little bit more in detail, a little bit uh, as we go along. But yeah, that's a good,
Nice.
good way to put it. Yeah,
Nobody left
Yeah,
behind.
nobody left
right.
behind.
That's right.
Yeah.
Gerald, I say for me, like, I was heavy invested in the stock market, and then cryptocurrency came along, and it's just something else that I was learning. Like, oh, I don't want to get left behind in the same way. And it's a very new thing. Everybody can get in easily into the cryptocurrency space. Got some amazing projects being done. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Binance. So I'm in it for the money and building passive income. That's one of my main things. And then just sharing it because we just don't want to miss this wave at all. Like, because it's a lot
Absolutely.
of credit going on about it. I know we're gonna get into that too, but
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
When I look at all of this, I kind of say to myself that this is just the same feeling when I started thinking of the stock exchange. Like, I
yeah,
always ask myself, what if my dad or my mom knew about Apple, right?
yeah,
When
exactly.
Apple was just basically starting, or what if they knew about buying a Coca-Cola stock or something,
Mm,
right? The conversation probably would have been different. So,
yep,
I mean, for me, it's that point where I want to look at it like I don't want to be the one that is left behind. That's the key word, right? I don't want to be the one that is going to come back tomorrow and say, oh, shoot, I wish I had actually gotten involved into it. So why not, take advantage of it now and try to, pick the brains of folks like you and other
yeah.
folks that are going to be, joining us and kind of talking, a little bit more about this. And just something for our audience, we have a three-step, process for our show. The very first step is always going to be more like an intro that we're going to be talking about what we're going to be doing or what we're going to be sharing, and then the next phase is going to be about the crypto and blockchain, and then after that we would open it up to the audience. But we do have some intermissions that we're going to have for our for our very close partners that are working with us. So just don't get surprised when you see like a short break, since we always need that break to get our minds and our thoughts together. So before we move on to the next phase, guys, do you guys have anything just to talk about very, very, very briefly about where you are going to be based, right, while we're doing this show? This is a very, very first one, right, before we move into crypto and blockchain. Do you guys just want to brief our audience for the next 1 minute where we are going to be, so that everybody knows where we're all located, in terms of our location, basically?
Yeah, I'm currently living in Tucson, Arizona. So
All right.
pretty much
Yeah.
my home base right here. So
Yeah. Well, me, I'll be based out of Los Angeles, California. Yeah, for the moment.
Absolutely. I am in Tucson, as well, just like Brian. But Emilio, I know for sure there might be some movements, for you. So hopefully we can have you in
Yeah,
Arizona soon, right?
yeah,
That'll
yeah.
be
Well, it's
awesome.
always it's all about the creative minds and
Yep,
whatever it is to step up and become better at all levels. I mean, I'm up for it. So as long as there's open doors, open arms. I mean, it's really good
absolutely.
to see the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
No, thank you so much, guys. I mean, before we move on to our next segment, we are going to take a very quick break, 60 seconds, and we are going to be right back. But this is just to let you guys know that we have you, in our thoughts, and we're going to be coming right back. Welcome back, guys. Thanks again for sticking around with us. Everyone that's right there on our channel or our show. Hopefully, to drop the questions right down below. We would always be keeping an eye out, to see questions or any comments or thoughts. But during these next 8 minutes, we are going to be talking about crypto and blockchain. That's going to be the focus of what we are going to. So that said, I am probably going to be, you know, giving the I am going to pass the baton right to my fellow presenters, Brian and Emilio, to kind of give their own thoughts about cryptocurrency and blockchain. So, what do you guys think is a good definition for cryptocurrency or blockchain,
Um,
guys?
well,
Yeah,
yeah, well, from some of the research, and definitions for the blockchain, and the question is, yeah, what is the blockchain and crypto? But you can't have one without the other. They have to coexist in order to produce results. You
yep,
know, uh, and crypto is just a tradable digital asset, just another form of currency that has been digitized and built on the blockchain technology. But what is the blockchain? It's a public financial transaction database. Basically, it was created especially to record the transactions. That's going from one wallet to the next in the
yep,
crypto space. Just to kind of
Yeah,
like see where it goes off from. From like from
yeah.
wallet to wallet. But that's just from my take and understanding and reading a little bit about it. And then Brian, yours.
yeah, that's the
Nice.
exact definition I would use. It's basically a database to be able to track any transaction going between one or two persons, totally between the person, cutting out the middleman, cutting out a bank. I look at it as like the Internet 3.0, just a main thing where people can go and just have their own transactions, basically becoming your own bank, not having to have anybody being in control, taxing your money, controlling your money where it goes. The blockchain is just a perfect way of examining that.
Nice, nice. I mean, I think you guys have, basically nailed it. I mean, from my own perspective, blockchain is basically, where cryptocurrency is actually, living. Without the blockchain, technology, we might not be able to have the cryptocurrency. The transactions, right, and the smart contracts might not be able to happen. So the cryptocurrency, is basically another form of currency, very, very similar to how we have the fiat, the USD, or the Chinese, yuan, or the France CFA, right, or any other currency that is out there, but it's more on the digital side. So we do not have like actual notes. When we are talking about cryptocurrency, it's all digital. It's either within the palm of your hand, right, or within your phone or on your computer, and you just have your addresses that you are able to use to do the transactions for digital, which is for the digital cryptocurrency, which to me really is the big difference, right, between the cryptocurrency and the actual currencies that we have. And one thing that somebody would probably ask is what what do you guys see as the most basic use of crypto, currency on your in your day to day, life, right? What I mean would be like the most used use case, as one would say, of cryptocurrency on a daily basis.
Right. I say that the most basic use it's going to have for is just speeding up our transactions between like peer to peer. So like if I go to pay for something or try to send somebody money, I can literally send you cryptocurrency and whatever type of value it is, but the dollar amount will remain the same based off the value of that cryptocurrency. So you know how a bank gives you an ACH transfer 3 to 5 days, I can send you cryptocurrency in that same value that you won within like 30 seconds or a minute. And that's not just here in the United States, that's anywhere across the world. You can provide money and access and change up an entire financial infrastructure just by using cryptocurrency. And that's the basic way to be able to allow transactions that way. similar to like going to a car dealership and paying in cryptocurrency, whatever currency they want, and paying them like that, and that'll be the new age of the way we make transactions pretty soon.
Absolutely. Any thoughts on that, Emilio?
No, yeah, I mean, he's
Um,
right on.
from
He's
a
right.
day-to-day
He hit it right
use,
on
yeah.
the nail. It's just it's all about the applications and stuff that you use. Because there's so many out there that provide the same service. But it's just different coins and different cryptos. But yeah, there's a lot of application that can be used to transfer the crypto. And it all depends on the preference of the person.
Yeah,
It could be like Coinbase. It could be your Cash App. And which is a very
absolutely.
popular
Yeah.
app. You know,
Hmm.
and with the app, you have your QR code that pops up. Then the person who you're gonna deal with, it's takes out the camera, looks at it, and automatically the transfer is just done within like seconds, just like how you said, 30 seconds
Yeah,
to that 1 minute, and it's done. And it's pretty fast. And
yeah,
time is going, and it's just moving. It's moving, but that's what we're here for. Just to be
yeah.
on top of what's going on right now. With all these
Sure.
applications that's happening around us. Yeah.
What are some of the some of the platforms for anyone that is really not that familiar with cryptocurrency and they are thinking about starting or getting into it? What are some of the platforms that you guys think that they should be looking at, as the first step, right, to starting their journey into cryptocurrency, into buying and trading?
So, Gerardo, I'll tell you, a real cryptocurrency, you're going to be dealing with your crypto.com, Coinbase, and Binance. And pretty soon, those will be your future JP Morgans, Bank of Americas, and Wells Fargo's, because that's where it's going to be leading up to. Because most people now will be taking their money out of the banks, putting their digital assets in their own wallets, and then sending them to those platforms, crypto.com, Coinbase, and
Yeah,
Binance, and turning it into real fiat. And then it'll stop right there because those applications have their own checking accounts, debit cards, stuff like that. So that's where I kind of see the future going. But definitely those top three, that's where it's going to be going pretty soon in the future.
Yeah.
nice, nice. And Emilio, what are some of those currencies? There are close to 8,000 different cryptocurrencies, right? And
Yeah.
we don't expect people to memorize or to familiarize, themselves
Yeah.
with all
Yeah.
with all the 8,000. There are
Right.
probably a few that people should probably look into it. So, what are some of those few ones that people
Well, I mean, the most
should
popular
kind of
ones that
start
we have.
looking at?
Yeah, the most popular is the ones that we have seen. If you're gonna dive into, I mean, we have seen Bitcoin, which is the most popular one. Then second to it, you have your Ethereum.
Yeah,
After Ethereum, you have your Dogecoin. Of course, people have heard about it with Elon Musk and everything with the Saturday Night Live and stuff. I know I was, when I first started. I said, what is Dogecoin? Let me look into this. What's going on? So yeah, so you have your Dogecoin, your Binance, you have your the new ones that's coming out with like Shibu, so they have many, but yeah, man, it's just a matter of like going out there and just searching for yourself on what works for you, because every single one works differently. Some must go up, some are down, and it just
yeah,
depends on the person, honestly. But yeah, it's a lot of coins out there, man. You guys gotta just do some more research, and of course we will be speaking about this on our podcast, as we go.
absolutely. And then, before we move to our next phase, we are definitely going to take another partnership break. This is part of the show, right? We are going to be coming right back. So please just bear with us, hang in there, and we should be back within the next 60 seconds. So look forward to continuing the show and chatting some more. Now we are going to turn back to our audience so that we can hear from them just to see if they have any questions. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. This is the Creative Minds, and we are back from our break. And we have just opened up our chat, to our audience that are out there that are leaving us comments. And we do have one specific question that we wanted to share with, our viewers. And the question is, do you have issues with some of the things our governments, use our money? This is a question that came in, and we would love to discuss this. So, starting with you, Brian, what are your thoughts in terms of this question?
Yeah, I would say like the regular American taxpayer like has zero control of their money that's being given out to our state senators, our representatives, our people that we elect to run our country. They basically just have complete autonomy whenever they want to make bills, sign off on things, pay for certain items. And I feel like we should be able to have more control of our money because just by telling them, hey, we don't want you to pay for certain things like this, such as certain bills that we want to support, like those things are kind of happening. And I believe cryptocurrency is a great way to eliminate that problem of not being able to see where our money is being done with. So it's just like right now it's a lot of FUD going around, and in crypto we use the word FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That some of our senators, some of the old kind of dinosaurs, do not want to delve into this next phase of technology. They don't allow cryptocurrency to be able to come out and take part in this game of making money. You know,
Yeah,
Nancy Pelosi, she said it today. I was listening to her earlier. She was saying that only criminals and use people who use cryptocurrency use it for illicit activities, and that's false because only like less than 5% of the country is using cryptocurrency. Mainly, any transactions are going to be used with regular fiat currency, and I'm just speaking on the U.S. currency. That's the main thing. So there's just a lot of doubt that's being put on this,
yeah,
and it's bad to keep it from growing. But it's unstoppable, I believe, once it gets really mainstream.
no. Well, thank
Yeah.
you. I mean, Emilio, what's your take
No,
on
yeah. I
this?
mean, just something briefly. Yeah, there's some questions, with the stuff that's going on with the government and how they use the money. I believe there's more more important issues. Something like what's going on in LA, basically, which is the most, I mean, top thing is homelessness. I
Yep,
believe there's ways to go about it. And like he said, it's just money that we don't see on how it's being, kind of productive towards us. But I think that they should really focus at least on the homelessness too, all across the board, all of America. It might not just
yep,
be in LA, maybe in other places much more worse. I'm not quite sure on that, on the numbers, but I believe there should be something for that, to help us out with the streets and our community, because we don't want our kids to just go out and just see a homelessness and think it's normal, because I believe it's not normal. It shouldn't be normalized, But yeah, I mean that's just something briefly, just with how money's being used. I think they should be using us towards certain things that help us out in the long run.
yep.
Yeah.
No, I do agree. I mean, excuse me. I mean, the way that government uses money, it's at times very, very tricky, right? We see some of these bills that come out, and we hear some of them are in the thousands of pages that have to be read. But when you read the fine lines, the fine print of some of these bills, you at times tend to see that some of that money is really not going to the right places, right? I think we have had this discussion about the recent COVID bill that just came out, right? And quite a good amount of that money. I'm not exactly sure of what the exact portion of that money that went to different programs, outside of the U.S. That a lot of people are questioning, like, why would money go to a country like Afghanistan for a very specific social? But again, I'm not sure on the very specifics of it. But the fact is that not all the money that is being spent, by the government is going towards uh, um, some of those programs that matter to very specific people. But now, other people would argue, right, that there are other sides of that there are other that there's another side of the aisle that voted for it, that feel that it's very important for the common person. But I kind of feel like, from my perspective, there's quite a lot that is going to certain places that shouldn't be going, and I will leave it at that. But I know that you guys have some other thoughts, right, with regards to that bill that was passed.
Yeah, the most recent bill, there were repairs. It was titled in the COVID-19 bill, but there was stuff in there to like, to keep the Smithsonian Museum running. That's not relevant when it's coming time to, people are losing their jobs, they're on unemployment, they need immediate relief. We're having to wait at least 3 or 4 months between each COVID bill if we get one, and then the amount is only about, a couple $1,000s. That's not where the priority should have been. So with that, you need more control of your money at that point. Keep it in your pocket a little bit because nobody really had any control over stuff like that. So
And do you guys think that the government is going to be able to slow down the speed or the progress of cryptocurrency? We all know that they have a beef, right? They have an issue with cryptocurrency, which I mean, we can understand if it has to do with funding of terrorism or funding of projects that cannot be tracked or that cannot be or that are not visible. Just the whole anonymity of digital the transfers from one wallet to the other. It's very very it's anonymous, right? You don't know who is sending what to who. So there's concern there, which is justified, but do you guys think that the government can actually slow this, or should they take a better stand at expediting
Well,
the
I mean,
process?
right now I think it's gonna be hard for them to slow it, and we already seen what happened with China. It was going so fast and so fast that China eventually tried to just stop the mining. I believe it's Bitcoin, and we see it with that government. But at the same time, you have the rest of the world. You just it could be just one government, but we're talking about a worldwide, arena, like the whole crypto space. So we're at the beginning stages of this crypto. So you got to look at it like almost like the dot-com era.
Yeah,
People that didn't really know about the dot-com era, and it was going on, and the few people that jumped on and stayed on, look at the wealth and look at where they're at now. They're now at the top 1%, of the wealthy.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that's just the things that it makes me question, like, it's the beginning of the crypto era. So where do I want to land? Where do I want to be? You know what I mean? Which side
Yeah,
do I want to be? So those are questions that
yeah,
we should ask ourselves, because it's going to be a great transfer of wealth, and I would say in the next 5 to 10 years. You know what I mean? But I couldn't tell you where to start, how to start it. But just do some research. Do your stuff.
exactly.
Because whatever works for me might
Yep,
not work for you. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that's one of the reasons we started this podcast, and that's basically to educate the average person like me. You know what I mean? But look at the governments. Even some of the governments are still they have positioned themselves to to not fall behind the crypto space. The evolution of the currency, man, it's gonna be crazy in the next 5 to 10 years. And
absolutely. Brian, what do you think about this?
oh
What's
yeah,
your take on this?
I absolutely believe the machine is already working. Like you can just tell because I deal with the exchanges a lot, so I know like we're dealing with mainly the three different platforms, most popular crypto.com, Coinbase, and Binance. They're still in app form that we can only use inside of the United States. So I know it's some regulation that's being pushed by the opposite end, like the banks saying, "Hey, we don't want to." That's one of the reasons we don't have any exchanges that are legal to be used inside the United States yet. Right now, we can only use the app version. But once the exchanges come, then that'll open the floodgates to be a lot more popular. Because look at and Coinbase has done exceptionally well.
Right.
We're listed on the stock exchange now. It's coming. It's just slow. And I know there's some backdoor deals being done. Just to kind of slow this push down because that's exactly what is needed. It's that old money that doesn't want to get out of the way or share the pot of money. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on.
Absolutely. And again, we just want to make sure that our audience understands that these are our views, right? It's not set in stone. Anybody can have their own opinion, and we just want to make sure that people feel free in commenting and discussing right below the video. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if there are other subjects right within cryptocurrency, blockchain, or even the just the e-commerce space, or ways of making passive income that you think that would be an interesting topic, right, to discuss. And before we end our show for today, very first show, I just want to piggyback on something that you said, Emilio, with regards to the governments, right? I just want us to bring this back up. There's a mention of a particular government that is really ahead of this, cryptocurrency space. Now, I just want us to highlight that as the last
Yep.
aspect, before we leave. Can you let the audience know, you and Brian, let the audience know which government this is that is really ahead of the cryptocurrency space?
Yeah. Well, it's El Salvador. El Salvador is the one
Right.
who's been ahead of that, changing the currency to Bitcoin. And I know that just a few days, if not maybe a week, they made more of an investment. I believe they made like another $1 million investment into the crypto Bitcoin. So it makes it even easier now if you have families up in El Salvador to just transfer. Hey, you need some money out there. Now they transfer through Bitcoin. They
Yep.
have the Bitcoin ATMs all over, El Salvador, and that's something I followed a little bit on
Yep.
how that's on. But yeah, it's becoming real. If you see one country
It's
doing
real.
that, trust and believe there's other countries that are gonna do the same. And like
Yeah.
it's like say, where do we want to fall in this whole crypto space?
Right.
But yeah, left
Thank you,
behind.
Emilio. Brian, any final words before
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
turn down?
Same thing. El Salvador is really kicking it. Bitcoin is $1 trillion industry, and they're the first ones to fully integrate it and make it work. So they're ahead of the game right now. So yeah, I really believe in the technology. It's going to work out for them.
Absolutely. And again, guys, we are here just to share, information, share knowledge. We would definitely want to learn from anyone who is watching this video. If there are certain things that you want to share with us or share with the broader audience, please do leave the comments and let us know. And we would be also putting some more information about our next, videos, or any links that we think that are important. We will share it within the video comment section. So until then, it's goodbye from Creative Minds, and we look forward to meeting with you guys again next week. Ciao. Bye.
Later.
What's up?